Sup flappers, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about some of the characters that people really don't play. And in a way, you can say they're forgotten, but let me just put this out there right now. If you play or main one of these characters, you should seriously consider starting like a YouTube channel or a Twitch stream, because there is a potential audience to tap into that want to share this excitement with you. I'm talking like the 0 point something percentages of the player base. These characters, for more reason than one, underperforms in comparison to other options. I'm not saying they're bad, but most people don't want to play them. And if you want to play them, be prepared to put in the effort to make them perform up to par in comparison to other characters. Or be prepared to play certain specific team cons that are not as flexible due to the restrictive natures of the character that you choose to build certain teams around. All right, and again, I'm not out here hating. These are straight facts. People don't like these characters, and the ones who do play them are very far and few in between. And you guys might think like, well, Walrus, obviously Amber is one of them, but well, surprise surprise, we're not going to talk about Amber because we're jumping straight to Lisa. Lisa is one of those characters that there's very few things that she is extremely good at, like almost nothing, apart from a couple gimmicks, constellations, and her being able to use the thrilling tales. This character essentially is sitting on the back burner and only really comes out onto the field when you need to climb over a giant mountain, because damn, aren't we all degens out here? But jokes aside, there are teams that Lisa fits into where she can shine and actually facilitate for a successful completion of even Abyss 12 fairly easily. I'm gonna say, compared to some of the other characters that are popping up on this list, Lisa adds quite a bit of value for the most part. That's why she's what I'm gonna mention first. I guess this is a list going downwards, but Lisa is definitely on that list. Her also being Electro makes it so that reaction wise it's difficult to build around Lisa, but that's not the end of it either. With her being a 4-star character and difficult to get constellations for, it's usually difficult to justify pouring resources into her, and even going to the point of potentially picking up 5-star weapons for this character, as her ceiling currently is pretty much just gated by RNG. Right, because you can't get constellations for her. What can you do? Even a Giga Whale cannot say they can max out Lisa's potential at will. So with all that said, let's move on to the next character, and that's your boy Razor. I'm sorry, I don't want to be doing Razor mains like this. This character has helped me substantially through my earlier days of Genshin Impact, and I'm sure he has for many others as well. Up until a year ago, I see people using Razor quite a bit in the Abyss, completing difficult content. Now, that's not to say he cannot do it anymore. It's just nowadays, if you want him to perform at the level some of the alternatives can perform at, you're gonna be heavily invested into this character. However, he's also one of the characters that, unlike Lisa, you can get pretty high constellations for him, because he appears sometimes on limited banner. Wink wink nudge nudge, right? So to have him on the list and above Lisa, what is the deal here? Well, to be completely honest with you, it's simply, for the most part, his playstyle and also his ceiling. Being mostly a physical DPS unit, I guess Razor could be considered a hybrid DPS character, especially in his burst state, right? He puts out quite a bit of electro damage. The ceiling seems to be quite low for him, and that's considering even with 5-star weapons, there are just other characters, even 4-stars, that completely blow him out of the water DPS wise with less investment and less effort. Case in point being Xiangling, who is literally right next to him, and Beidou even more to the left of that, being in the similar category essentially, right? Claymore, Electro. For the most part, people who do enjoy Claymore Electro characters have all went to Beidou just because of the more sophistication and flexibility with that playstyle. I'm not saying again Razor is bad, but come on, let's be honest. If you're still playing Razor today, you are actively fighting an uphill battle. Granted that if you have a 5-star weapon for him and you have insane artifacts for him, you're not struggling too much. Let's be honest. Even Amber, Kaya, Barbara, and whatever you want to throw as the 4th member in that team can clear Spiral Abyss 12 no problem. So what's really for people to be upset about? Like I said, this video is to talk about some of the forgotten units in this game and just give you guys an idea why people don't like to touch them. Moving forward from this is going to be Chi-Chi. Now, people are going to be a little upset about this. Like, Chi-Chi, I don't think so. With the new clam set, Chi-Chi is now a very consistently performing character. However, this is taking into consideration that almost nobody really talks about this character. Like, if you notice, for Lisa, for Razor, and now Chi-Chi, these are some of the characters that you almost never see anyone recommend playing them. And when it comes to Chi-Chi, you guys said it yourself. Hey, she's not bad right now. So how come she is not being recommended more? How come people don't say, hey, try Chi-Chi in your team? Hey, why don't you bring Chi-Chi? Hey, do you have a Chi-Chi? Because Chi-Chi would be perfect in this scenario. That's the issue with Chi-Chi. She is good now, but she is still not good enough for people to start recommending her over some other options, cheaper options like Diona. A lot of the times, having a cryo on your team, you're just trying to fulfill that double cryo resonance. And Chi-Chi, while it's capable of fulfilling that role, there are just other better options, right? Rosaria being one of them, Diona being another. And if you have some other 5 stars, even more so. Chi-Chi is now really still sitting on the back burner for most people's accounts and teams. People love her essentially as a mascot more than as a capable unit in your team. Personally, I haven't had her in my team for a really long time, and I just find that the way she dishes out heals just seems to be a little more aggressive for my liking, meaning that she takes up too much field time. That's my way of saying that. Like, it's just not really worthwhile for the trade-off when you got characters like Diona who can heal while not being on the field and providing additional benefits. Okay, so that's why Chi-Chi is on here. Now, moving on. Jinyan, you guys knew this was coming, and I am completely unapologetic when I put her on this list. However, I'm gonna slap somebody else kind of together here as well. Toma, right? Jinyan and Toma are like Hoyoverse is Frankenstein experiments, because if you take both of these characters and somehow combine them into one character, you'll still probably only have half a character. I know that sounds harsh, but hear me out. Because both of these characters have kits, it just feels like Hoyoverse was too scared to commit. Yeah, having a strong pyro character is going to be problematic for the game in many ways. But when it comes to these two characters, it just feels like Hoyoverse got way too scared. If you are this scared to put any sort of relevance and power for character design, then you just shouldn't design them to begin with, right? Why put such hard limitations, or why give them things in their kit when you know it's going to be pretty much irrelevant? Like Toma's pyro application with his burst skill. Come on, let's be honest here. You playing Toma for his pyro burst application, right? For Jinyan, for her shield. Anybody out here really running Jinyan for her shield? Why not give them a little more to their kits? Why not make Jinyan's shield a little more universal, or a little more durable, or a little easier with less hassle to apply? I know they're 4-star characters, but then again, there are other 4-star characters that just completely overshadows certain 5 stars as well. The reason I hope you guys understand that I have these two on the list at this high up on the list is not because they don't have constellations. It's not because they don't have good weapons. It's not because nobody plays them, because quite frankly, there's a ton of Jinyan mains, and I know a couple of them. They're really nice people. This is not to attack people. I'm talking about these characters' kits and how fundamentally broken they are to the current game state, right? This physical pyro hybrid with this support DPS shielder hybrid, which doesn't really apply pyro at all. Come on, you got people like Noelle in the game with shields that just feels far superior, and of course then you have the transcendent leap jump to Zhongli, which a ton of people already have. Like, really, are you trying to sell us on shields from 4-star characters? I don't understand. And of course, they're not really buffers either. They're not offering much more to your team apart from those utility features, which are broken to begin with. So like I said, if you took Jinyan and Toma and combined them into one character, you'd have half a character. That should put into perspective how they currently fare up in the current state of the game. Now, that being said, you guys might be saying, oh, Warriors, are you implying that you can't beat the game with these? Nope. you can still beat the game with this. All right, you can probably beat the game with a level 60 Toma and Jinyan on the same team. That should tell you even more so about the current end game of Genshin Impact. There's literally no challenge. However, there's one character that takes the crown when it comes to ignored, forgotten, lost, and just generally want to be erased from the history of Genshin Impact. And that is, of course, your girl, Aloy. Now, how should I put it like this? Right? This character has the flaws of almost all the characters that I mentioned up until this point into one. First and foremost, she's a cryo character, which you guys would immediately think like, holy smokes, right? Then how did they mess her up? Well, let me tell you. This character is a special release character during a promotion, I think between a game called, what was it? Something Horizon of Dawn or something. And it's a PlayStation or Sony kind of collaboration, and we all got it for free. And this is the thing. When Hoyoverse thinks of free, there has to be an alarm that just goes blaring off in their office like, oh, it's free? Well, I can't be giving them away free stuff. So we got to make this thing like as incompetent as we can humanly make this character. So what ended up happening was they kind of designed her with some sort of cryo application per hit. However, the way to activate that is so convoluted and difficult, and to sustain that application, it's just you're not going to be able to do it. All right, it's not doable. On top of that, her numbers are nothing spectacular. She has no constellations, which in a way is even worse than Lisa, because Lisa, you at least can get it if you're extremely lucky. Aloy, you can probably try your luck to get like a certified bank draft shipped to Hoyoverse for $500,000 before you even consider any in-game additions. My point is, this character just falls apart on so many levels, and while yes, she is a free character, and yes, she can beat the game as well, this character is definitely amongst the top when it comes to forgotten units in Genshin. And I want to bet with you guys that there are people who are watching this video who actually forgot she exists in the game. Like, you actually forgot there was this character in the game, and now I've rejotted your memory. You're like, oh damn, right, oh crap, I have Aloy. Right, hey, you're welcome. I think a lot of the top characters on this list has to do with Hoyoverse being too worried for these characters to be too strong. And you can see it as a pattern happening in the game with not just these characters, but even recent 5-stars that are coming out. Hoyoverse, they're really pulling their punches here with 5-stars even to make sure that they don't overperform the ceiling of previously released 5-stars. I know Hoyoverse are essentially charging an exorbitant amount of premium currency to lock in one of these 5-stars. So of course, they don't want to give players the feeling that their investments are ever at a point not worth it or being overtaken by newer characters. That does not excuse poor game design when it comes to characters that are worth, still quite a must. I know somebody from my channel, which I summoned for them, a C6 Toma, and it pains me to sit here and talk about this character like this because they are very excited for him. And of course, I'm sure they're enjoying the character. It's just this character had so much more potential, had so much more to live up to, and it kind of all falls apart at the seams. And to say that constellations can't really even save this character is saying quite a lot. Now, there are some other characters that I could have touched on, but I don't want to go too in depth. But if you guys want me to go more in detail in regards to these characters, I would love to. So if you want to see that, let me know, and good luck. Have fun playing Jinyan, Toma, Aloy, Chi-Chi, Lisa, Razor. All right, it's still characters in the game, and they can still clear the game. Hell, probably you can even slap them together in one team and clear the game and slap me right across the face, because apparently as long as you can clear the game, there's no problem with anything. All right, until next time, stay safe, peace.